Hi, I'm Kiran Madhu, a midlife Indian immigrant settled in America, and I share my stories and thoughts in this channel. Even if you have not seen the series of Breaking Bad, still you will be able to understand the gist of this topic. So I watched Breaking Bad in 2019, and the moment I watched it, I liked it so much. Then I decided I should watch it with my kids. I don't have any sons, but I have my two daughters. And when my elder one is in her high school junior year in 2021, again I watched the entire Breaking Bad series with her. While watching the series, I became the Walter White, and she became my Jesse. I used to call her Jessie, and she used to say, "Yes, Dad." I'm going to share my story in three forms of M. The first M is the mild. So there are two mild quotes from Breaking Bad. I became so big fan of them, and I used to use them on her. The first quotation, the character Jesse is a little bit foolish, tricky, and not responsible in some of the things what he was doing. So the typical teenage behavior. And Walter White, whenever he gets angry or he gets frustrated with him, he always uses one word: Jesse, apply. So being an Indian dad, this was a great revelation. My daughter was around 16 17 years at that time. So Indian parenting has a little bit of more nagging, lengthy lectures and badgering. So I was thinking, like, we don't need all those things. Just say, Jesse, apply. So whenever I used to find my kid in a little bit tricky situation or giving some random non-specific answers, instead of saying all the long lengthy lectures, I just used to say, Jesse, apply, and she used to laugh. Such simple way of admonishing Jesse, apply, saves a lot of time and energy. So once if they start applying, because in the teenage one of the problems is the tubular vision. Applying is like taking multiple things into consideration. And another mild form of quotation from Breaking Bad: once kids are in their teenage, dads will be concerned about what kind of friends they are making and what kind of people they are moving with. So Walter White will always be concerned about Jesse because he believes in this crime partnership. Jesse is always a loose end. Walter White always advises Jesse about his friendships. Jesse, walk with who you are. So I felt this is one of the good advices we can give our kids, whether they understand it completely or not, because there is a little philosophical element to this quotation. And I'm not sure at the age of 16 or 17, kids can understand the inner meaning of this mild form of quotation. Because to know with whom you should walk, first of all, you should know who you are. And as a matter of fact, most of us take a long period of time in our life to understand who exactly we are. There is some cultural impact here in open and individualistic cultures like the Western and American parenting, because they are independent and they have to be on their own. The self-actualization, the process of understanding who we are, may happen a little bit early, like around 21, 22, and in a closed Indian parenting kind of cultures, because they are always getting help from different aspects of life and from different corners of the family. So the self-actualization process is a little bit delayed, maybe 23, 24. Personally, I feel around 26, 27 was my self-actualization. So even though there are cultural and individual variations of this self-actualization process to understand who we are, this will be still a good advice to tell them walk with who you are when they are in their teenage. And as they grow older, they understand themselves better, develop their own personality and philosophy, and choose their company. It is a natural process. And the next form of M in the Breaking Bad and Indian Dad is the manipulating component of parenting. Walter White not only becomes rich, and he chases power, and he builds his own kingdom in the drug cartel. So in this process, Walter White becomes monstrous, and to keep his legacy and identity, he sets predetermined roles to both Jesse and Flynn, and whenever they don't match those his predetermined roles, he tries to manipulate them, or sometimes he outrightly tries to dominate them. Okay, we are going too much into the story. Coming back to the parenting, the Indian dad, Indian culture, or for that matter, any closed culture parenting, for its own reasons, which I mentioned in the previous episode, we will have a lot of apprehension in our parenting. And sometimes this apprehension minimally becomes manipulative. We may be using a lot of sentimental, blackmailing dialogues in the parenting. And also we try to scare them about the insecurities of a future too much. And in this open and individualistic cultures of the West, the apprehension in the parenting or scaring them with the future insecurities is very less or minimal. Whatever culture it may be, being parents, we should never look at kids as the continuation of our legacy or identity for two important reasons. One, we may kill the creativity in their mind and they stop being individualistic and independent. And the second is the world is very fast changing. What methods and training worked for us may not work for the same way for our kids too. And in Breaking Bad, when Walter White takes his manipulation and domination to the extremes in the fifth season, Jesse breaks out in one episode, "Stop working me." So we should never be in that situation in the real life. And the last form of M, the matured component of parent, Walter White. Walter White is a meticulous and genius in chemistry and does everything in a methodical way. So any parent has these characters. Most kids at one point of their life, they'll try to follow their parents' qualities. And this mild form of statements or subtle manipulations which parents use cannot be judged one or the other way in real life or even in Breaking Bad. And the process of parenting is combination of multiple issues, and finding the sweet spot is the real deal. And in every frustration there is some responsibility lies behind that, so conveying that responsibility will be more important. So in conclusion, even if the kids say that everything they are undergoing is because of parents, that blame game is not totally right. And if parents say that every sacrifices they are making is for their kids, that is also not completely right. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful time. It's just another day in paradise.